Today we're making a steak rub. It's a Mocha 5-spice. You can, it's basically coffee and some spices. I think mine actually has 6 spices in it. 5-spice, basically just a generic, like, multi-purpose spice. I have star anise, fennel seed. They're both kind of anise flavored, but slightly different. Cloves, coriander, and Szechuan peppercorns. They're not really spicy, but they do have an interesting numbing sensation on your tongue that if you combine other hot stuff with it, it will actually, you taste it as opposed to just burning your tongue off. The other items in this, I have coffee beans, and I have cocoa powder, and cinnamon. So the first step I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my spices. I've got a hot pan right here. I'm just going to throw these in the pan, heat them up a little bit, bring back some of that flavor, because who knows how long these have actually been in the store before I purchased them. So I'm just going to dry just in the pan, no oil. Just going to heat them up a little bit, get rid of some of that stale kind of flavor, and it'll be really nice. Okay, on top of that, I've got a cinnamon stick in a microplane. You don't really need a whole lot of the cinnamon. You find a little goes a long way. So I'm just going to grate. And that's it. You see right there, I only took a very small little plane off of that. Okay, the next step. Got my coffee grinder here, which I don't normally use for coffee. It's just for herbs. If I use it for coffee, the coffee would taste like every other thing I've thrown in it. So, got my spices here. Try to escape. Gonna close it up. Basically, I'm just gonna grind these into a powder. I want them super dusty. The star anise and the fennel I find kind of are a little bit fibrous, so they don't really bust up super well right away. So it takes a couple extra shakes. And if you don't shake it, some stuff will just stay on the bottom and not get spun around or broken up. So I've grinded these guys up. It's pretty powdery. I've got to a point where it's really not going to make much more of a difference now. So I'm going to empty all of that out. So I got my spices here. I'm going to add my cocoa right to that. And then I'm going to take my coffee beans and grind those guys up the exact same way I did the spices. I want to grind my coffee very fine. It's a textural thing because I'm going to put it on some beef, and you can put this on anything. But if you don't grind it enough, it's like drinking coffee grinds to the bottom of your coffee. It's not pleasing. So, all right, and that should be good. Once again, it's all caught at the top, so I'm going to make sure I get all of that. We're ready to throw it on our beef. We've got some hanger steak right here, also known as skirt steak. It's a very tough cut of beef. It's basically got this line in between of you can't eat it, but you can bite around it or cut around it. So I've got my steak here. Got some sea salt. I'm just going to season this up with some sea salt first. Get both sides of it. And then I'm going to take my spice and I'm basically just going to coat it. Give it a really good covering. I'm going to coat both sides, and I'm going to let it sit overnight. This is my skirt steak that I've had overnight. I gave it a pretty thorough rub the night before. I've got a really smoking hot grill. Now you can do this in a frying pan. You don't really need a barbecue to do it. I just prefer to do it on the barbecue. Now, this isn't going to take very long. I'm going to cook it on the grill, maybe 5 minutes, probably not even. I only want to cook this to about medium rare. The beauty of the steak is it has tons and tons of flavor. The downside, unfortunately, is the more you cook it, the tougher it's going to get. So we're basically just going to sear like both sides. My steak's about ready to come off. I just threw it down, turned it 90, and then I turned it back over, then turned it another 90 degrees. It's been about 5 minutes since that whole process started. So now I'm ready to take it off the grill. I got a sheet pan right here. I'm just going to pop it in the oven for about 2 minutes. When that comes out, we'll slice through it. It's not really a steak you're going to want to serve by like with a knife and steak knife and a fork at a dinner party. That being said, you can serve it at a dinner party. You just might want to slice it first. Otherwise, it's just kind of uncomfortable. Okay, so my steak's ready to go. I've had it resting for about 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to slice it thin. Got a sharp knife. Just going to cut some thin strips. Really rare, which means it's going to be tender, and it's going to be delicious because it's been properly seasoned and properly cooked. So basically, you're going to want to slice them like that. Slice them that thin. That right there is a great steak.